Ghosted is a new action rom-com movie on Apple TV Plus starring Chris Evans and Ana de Armas. It's been called one of the worst movies of the year and it's an absolute disaster. Personally, I didn't think it was like this at all. It's not a fantastic movie, but it's also not the disaster that it's being made out to be. Chris Evans stumbles upon Ana de Armas' character. They both basically fall in love. They go on a few dates and then Ana de Armas ghosts him and he can't contact her. He ends up finding out where she is and he travels to London. When he gets there, he gets kidnapped by some gang members and it turns out that Ana de Armas is actually a CIA super spy. And from that moment on, he realizes that the girl that he fell in love with is not the same person that he thought she was. Some things that I liked about the movie was that there was some cool action sequences and set pieces. They weren't fantastic, but they also weren't terrible. And there was not one stage in the movie where I wanted to turn it off. And that in my head, I was like, this is actually as bad as people are making it out to be, because I don't think it is. I do agree with some points that Chris Evans and Ana de Armas don't really have a great on-screen chemistry. A lot of people have this conspiracy theory that they were barely even on set together and that stunt doubles were put in for their places, but yeah, they don't really gel together too well. But then there is some moments that they do, and you know, there's moments where Chris Evans is basically calling her out for being a liar, and it's just pretty funny. And like, you can't really doubt the fact that he's trying his best in this, and she's trying her best too. But it just didn't gel 100%. But again, as I keep saying, I don't think it was as bad as people are making it out to be. Although, of course, there is points that I want to pull up on. There is one action sequence where Ana de Armas is driving this massive bus down a mountain in Pakistan and it's going backwards. She's shooting a submachine gun out the window and talking to Chris Evans at the same time. And how she manages to not plummet that truck over the side of the cliff, I will never know. I thought it was a little bit strange. Also, one thing that caught my attention was every single time an action sequence started, a song played. And I don't mean like a soundtrack song, like a cinematic epic music. It was like Dua Lipa or Uptown Funk. And this is really weird, but the final scene in the final battle sequence, there's loads of bodyguards and load of bounty hunters and Chris Evans and Ana de Armas and the villains and whatever, and the fight starts, and the minute the fight starts, Uptown Funk plays. And I literally was a bit like, okay, that's really stupid. Like, why would you put that in there? Like, make the music epic. And Lorne Balfe is the composer for this, and they've done many scores before that I've really loved, but I was just a little bit baffled by why they chose to go with so many radio songs that were just kind of out of place. Like, there's 2 Dua Lipa songs in this for some reason. Like, it just kind of might feel like an ad for her. There are 4 cameos from Marvel actors though, which I did not see coming, and I absolutely loved it. I won't say who they are, because if you're a Marvel fan, just give this a watch and you'll see who they are straight away. And it was pretty awesome, and it actually got me pretty hyped. Other things that people are pulling up on is that Ana de Armas' wig is really noticeable. Yeah, I did kind of realize that her hair looked really out of place, but it wasn't a deal breaker for me. I kind of just forgot that it was there. There was a lot of green screen visible, especially in that scene that I talked about where they are on a cliff driving a truck. But look, overall, I did enjoy this movie. I don't think it's a disaster that everybody's making it out to be. Chris Evans and Ana de Armas, they do shine at certain times, but not 100% of the time. The Marvel cameos were good. The score was okay. It wasn't really great, but I'm going to give this 5.5 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a generous 3 stars. I kind of was leaning towards 2.5 stars, but I don't think it's as bad as that. I'm going to give it a 3 stars because I do think that it deserves that, because it did entertain me, and I always like to talk about if a movie entertains me, then that means it did a good job. But look, don't stay away from the movie. It's streaming right now on Apple TV Plus, so give it a watch if you have that. And I guess just make up your own mind about it. Critics are really hating on it. More casual users like me might enjoy it more, but just give it a watch, see what you think yourself. And if you have watched it or you plan on watching it, do let me know below.